Hello and welcome back to the Devious of Silvertail, where I'm back in Undertale, and I have to say I've been putting this episode off a little bit. I've been thinking about this game constantly, though. Literally every second I've been thinking about this game. Because today I want to try and get past the king. It's been so long. Right. So there's a few things that I want to do before I fight the king again. I'm hoping it's not too late. I know he gave me that whole, are you ready? Do anything you want to do beforehand thing. And I kind of get that. Could easily mean, that there's no turning back from that point. But considering that this is a game where you constantly get reset, it would feel weird, wouldn't it? If it was like, well, we're going to reset you to before you had that conversation for everyone else, but actually everything is locked off. Because it's empty. That was one of the things I wanted to check, that it was still actually empty, despite the fact that I've died several times. Because that was, just something that I wanted to just check. There's a few things I want to look at, but while I'm wandering around, there's a few things I want to talk about, because like I say, I've been thinking constantly about this blasted battle with the king. Because I've got a few theories. I break them roughly into 3 categories of theories. Because I'm trying to figure out how to get past the fight. Because I don't want to fight, don't want to kill him, obviously. So, my first theory is that I'm overthinking it, and it's just a matter of outlasting him, like it always is. Because that's what it always is. I struggle to think of a fight where, well, there's normally either one of 2 solutions. Either there's a specific sequence of buttons you need to press in order to, to get past him, or get past them. I've taken the long way, haven't I? Whoops. You either have a sequence of buttons to hit, or you need to... Oh, music. That was fast. That's interesting, because I swear that music was playing the whole time. I guess it must have a trigger on that screen, which then doesn't get turned off for... Sorry, this reminds me so much of RPG Maker, and I'm remembering its engine. Also, I never picked up this thing, which had me a little curious. I never took it before, but I'm going to now. I wanted to see what it said. Good grief, I'm getting off topic so very quickly. Perfect for cutting plants and vines. Of course it is. So, like I say, I have been thinking about this way too much, because obviously I want to be able to outlast him, and that's theory 1. Oh, good grief. I've just gone completely off all topics, haven't I? Because my brain is just not working. So, yeah, theory 1, I just have to outlast him. Because that's what it normally is. And also, we have this scene right here. We're reminded of Toriel. Now, I looked back to my first episode with Toriel, and was reminded that... What did she say? It was something along the lines of, if you ever are attacked by a monster, because you're a human, strike up a friendly conversation. And I will come along to help. Now, obviously, we never needed to use that mechanic. She ran off pretty quickly and expected us to be standing around, so I don't think she ever would have shown up, even if we'd given her the option. And obviously, she then, had us leave, and she hasn't shown up any other time. But we're reminded of her here, and we just had a conversation with Sans. And as far as I can tell, Sans was suggesting that he used to talk to Toriel and tell jokes, and she said to protect any human that ever walked through the door. So, by that logic, he was not killing us, and I assume if we'd been an absolute monster, he would have had to go back on his promise. But he didn't. But the question is, what's he doing now? He seems to be an agent for the king or something, at least that's my best guess. And that raises an interesting question in and of itself. If he's an agent of the king, then what's he doing now? He can't defy the king, perhaps. So maybe, now this is stretching a bit, I understand, but maybe as we speak he's going through his network of quick tunnels to reach Toriel's place and try and bring her here, because, like, you know, because if he's working in, like, the palace or something, he has to know who she is, right? Consumable items heal more. Right, yeah, that was why I wanted that one equipped. Oh dear, I thought I could talk as I walked, but apparently not. My brain is struggling. So it's possible that I'll just talk and then walk and show you where I walk. So, yeah, it's possible. Because the problem that I have with the Outlast theory is, firstly, he destroys my spare button. If he lost the will to fight right now, I couldn't spare him even if I want to. Which is a rather, is something which I can't ignore that. And I don't entirely know what to do about that. There's also no sense of progression when I talk to him, and that's something which there basically always has been. What did I just say? I said talk and then do things. So we can just stand here with it. Oh, stop talking. We'll just stand here with a nice elevator music while I actually say what I want to say, and then I'll do my walking. Because I thought I could save myself the time by doing both at the same time, but apparently I can't. So there's no sense of progression. I keep hitting talk and it doesn't say anything, except eventually it says, you have to fight. Now, if I try and outlast again, and see if that happens again, that's the key thing. If it eventually says that exact same line again, then there is absolutely no sense of progression, and nothing hinting to me that outlasting him is the answer. It's possible I just need to stay determined and wait for help. But maybe not, and I'll come to some of the maybe nots later. Now, of course, it's key that the game itself says you don't have to destroy anyone. Sans says do the right thing. So it seems that there has to be a way through without stabbing the king, you'd think. But yes, so that's the outlast strategy. There's also a possibility that someone else will come and intervene, because without my spare button, someone has to intervene, really. Someone has to end the fight, because I can't and he won't. So I will be trying to outlast him at least once more, but the only thing that I can really look for is whether or not that talking gives me something different. If the first time it brings up something other than, there's nothing to say, if the first time it says, like, you have to fight, if the next time it says something like, no, really you have to fight, or why are you still trying this, then that's a sense of progression. It's changed. Something is changing by me continuing to do that. But if it doesn't give me that, then I'm not being given any hints that that's the solution, and maybe it is just a matter of, well, that is the solution, it's always been the solution, you have to push on. And I will try, I will see how well I can do, and I will try. I'm going to get more healing items, I'm going to try and clear out my inventory, I'm going to do my best to last as long as humanly possible. Literally. But, where was I? It brings me on to theory 2, which is that I'm overthinking this completely. Outlast, that was the Occam's razor, because that's always the answer. But theory 2 is that there is no answer. There is no answer. The fight is going to happen. There is no other option. I have to fight. I have to kill. Now, the issue, of course, is the issue, of course, is that, as I said, that doesn't really fit with the game's MO up to this point, but this game does have an underlying feeling of darkness. I mean, sure, we just got through the hilarious fight with Metaton, and I know I got just a little bit salty about the one segment of the fight I just couldn't figure out until I figured it out, and I was like, oh, right, of course. But it was a fun fight. It was exciting. It was crazy. That's what this game is like. There's this underlying darkness, but maybe that's the point. It's all been lighthearted up to this point, but everyone we fought up to this point, they can back off. They can always step aside and say, you know what? I don't want to fight you. Take it up with the king. That's always what they've said, basically. You know, I'm paraphrasing. But they take the stance of, you know, I'm not going to fight you. You've convinced me. Why don't you talk to the king? He's a lovely guy. I'm sure you can work it out. They've all bumped it up the ladder to the king, but the king is the king. There's no one he can bump. There's no one he can bump the responsibility to, and he feels he's responsible to help his people, which is why he's not backing down. And maybe that's the point. It's possible, just possible, that's the point. That after all this comedy, the darkness is going to be the end. That the king can't yield. Now again, my problems with that is, you know, the fact that Sans said you'll do the right thing, I trust you, implies that there are options. It doesn't necessarily say what the options are, but that implies that there is a right thing to do and a wrong thing to do, which would mean that there is at least a couple of options. And just stabbing the king as all of the options, it doesn't really fit that MO. And I want to come... This game is... Oh god, that was a terrible sentence out of context. This game loves its word use. I mean, it's really, really great for its word use. Like this one, right here. The relaxing atmosphere of this hotel, it fills you with determination. Now that is a very interesting word, determination. Often it is used to imply perseverance. You stay determined, which means that you stay committed to your goal. You push on through the hard times. But determination has another meaning. Another meaning which in this game, which has already broken the fourth wall a little bit, potentially has a very important meaning. Determination can imply that you effectively have control over things. Now bear in mind, it says I'm filled with determination, the power to determine things every time I save. That can't be a coincidence, because determination is a strange word to use in some ways. The double meaning of that word feels very powerful, and when I'm fighting the king, I forget now, I know I looked it up, I swear it declares, you know, you're filled with determination. Suggests, I have the power to decide. Which again would go against the idea that there is no choice for me, that I have to kill him and that's the only option. However, the there's no puzzle here theory has a second incarnation which I'm far more worried about. That there is a puzzle, but not for me, because I've already missed the solution. Now, on the opening page, when I signed in to play the game today, there's Toriel snoozing on her couch. There's Sans up in the corner. You see Papyrus, and you see Undyne, but you don't see Alphys or Metaton. And I worry that I have somehow missed them. Maybe I was supposed to chase after her when she said I'm sorry, because I know I went back to her place multiple times. And is it possible the game has now locked it out because I've talked to the king and there's no opportunity to try and befriend her anymore? Because, like, have I missed something vital there? And was becoming friends with all of these characters vital to some ending? Now, I like to think that this game has been fairly user-friendly up to this point, or so it's felt anyway. I don't want to think that the makers of this game, who've made such a fantastic game would take a strategy similar to like what Overlord did. Now, if you've never played the Overlord game, the first one, there's 3 endings in that game, but it's very difficult to get 2 of them because you need to absolutely 100% the game in one way or the other. If you want the good ending, well, you better make sure that none of your attacks ever accidentally kill a civilian on the sidelines. Don't set fire to anything just in case someone gets hurt, because the moment you hurt anyone for any reason, then it's over. No chance of getting the good ending anymore. If you miss picking up one random item just scattered on the world, no bad ending for you. You weren't greedy enough. You didn't scour the world for every little thing that you didn't even know existed. You know, it's like that. It's incredibly easy to lock yourself out of one ending completely, very quickly. You do anything slightly out of the design and it's neutral ending for you. And maybe that's the situation here, but I like to think the makers of this game are more player-centered than that. However, there must be multiple endings. There must be. I mean, good grief, I could have gone through here stabbing everyone, and I haven't. The story would be so vastly different. So the question is there a good ending that I've missed? Is there a way to get past the king fight that I can't do? Because I feel like I'm missing something. There's things I don't understand. I still don't understand the situation with Flowery. Now, that flower seems connected to the king somehow. It's one of those flowers that he keeps watering. Or except they're everywhere now. So what is the flower? It seems that the flower's seeds were somehow carried back and nurtured by the ash of the fallen monster prince or something like that. But what does that mean for the flower itself? Because if that flower does have a connection to the king, then it can tell the king everything I've done, whether I've reset or not. And that's the other point. Toriel. As I mentioned, one of my more outlandish solutions for how the Outlast strategy could possibly work, and it's not that outlandish because they clearly know each other. It seems that they must have been married. If there was ever a situation for Toriel to make a surprise appearance, this would be it. There's like so much foreshadowing that gives potential to that theory. But the king seems to remember that he's killed me. What if Toriel has that same ability? Or maybe the king knows because the flower's telling him. These are interesting questions which I wish I knew the answer to before going into this. And I'm not going to look anything up, which I swear, if I was playing this game on my own at this point, I'd have looked it up. I would have, because it's driving me freaking crazy. So, if my little accident with Toriel was the situation, that could easily, potentially have cemented me into a bad ending. Now, I know, and anyone who is watching me play this knows, that was a complete accident. I had no intention of stabbing Toriel to death. And good grief, I mean, the amount of times in video games where you're put, into a fight with a friendly character, and defeating them doesn't mean killing them, it just means defeating them. It'd be so easy for any player to not think that would actually kill Toriel, that she'd back off the moment you'd proven your strength, or something of that ilk. I mean, if anything, it's surprising that she'd choose this to be a fight to the death. Is it so wrong that I thought if I fought a little, she'd suddenly turn around and say, okay, that's enough. You've proven it, and then I've got the choice of hitting spare or being a monster and finishing it. So I know it was an accident. There's lots of ways that it could have been an accident, but the way the flower said it, it was like, oh no, you cold-blooded murdered her and then just regretted it. And here's the point. I know it's an accident, but this is a game. It's been programmed. The game makers can't necessarily have predicted that people would have accidents. How the game interprets that moment isn't dependent on what actually happened, it's dependent on the actions. And all the game knows is that for some reason, I was willing to stab her to death, even if it was like a critical hit that I didn't even know existed. So it's possible that is going to lock me out of something, which I hate the very idea of, because that's horrifying to me. So yeah, that's theory 2, and a very dark and ominous theory it is, because I don't want it to be true. because that would mean that this entire playthrough is going to have a bad ending despite me doing my darndest to be a good boy, which would be very, very depressing. I mean, would it make me want to play it again? Maybe. I mean, a part of me is tempted to play it again just to try the evil path, except, honestly, I feel like if you're playing this game, that's the path you probably want to take first. Because when you're taking the nice person path, you learn to like all these characters. I don't want to kill any of them. But then that also ties back into the darkness. All these characters are lovable, but you talk to the monsters around and it's like, we can't wait for our chance to destroy humanity. Like, that's the elephant in the room that I keep looking past because they're so sweet and charming. It's like, it's like you're talking to a serial killer and it's like, I'm going to butcher you for lunch. And you just overlook that. It's like, you're joking, right? You're so sweet and charming. You are joking, right? So it's, I don't know, because I also got thinking a lot about, and I should be getting on to Theory 3, but I want to talk about this. I got thinking a lot about the situation with the king, because that is very familiar, right? Consider it. The king is right there. He's doing his kingly thing in front of the door, and we walk through the house, the same house that we know Toriel has. I don't know if they just got the same contractors or if she really wanted a taste of home that badly. But we're suddenly in the same situation, right? When we were with Toriel, we went down the stairs. We wanted to get through this door. We wanted freedom. But she said, no, don't go out there. You'll be attacked constantly. It's a horrible, dangerous world. And you're too sweet and innocent. And I feel like she's had that exact same conversation with the king. He is standing there before a door that will open to a wider world, to freedom. And she's saying, no, the humans out there will kill you. You're too sweet and innocent. You won't be able to survive out there. We won't be able to survive out there. It's very well written that now we're suddenly in this situation. And that's where I wonder. That's where I wonder if what Sans meant. He's an interesting character. The way he always says things like, he always says things which imply he knows that I can reset. Or it's just very convenient wording and timing. But considering he seems to know a lot more than he lets on, gives me the impression that he probably actually does know what's going on. Maybe. Sans is a confusing and interesting character. And yes, I do appreciate that he's also a comic. Comic Sans. They do love their jokes, especially with Sans. What a terrible pun. By a person who makes terrible puns. Yes, I noticed that. So, do the right thing. That's an interesting thing. He said, do the right thing. What's the right thing? When we were with Toriel, she wanted to rip down the door to remove the option, to remove the temptation, because you'll never be able to be happy here so long as the temptation to leave exists. And I wonder, is that what I'm supposed to do? Is that the right thing? Lock the monsters down here, because if they go up top, they'll probably be killed, and a lot of them want to try and kill. If they go up there, it sounds like they'll start a war that they can't necessarily win. Because I don't know whether this is the situation that humans actually had anime powers 100 years, however long ago it was, or if it's actually, no, humans actually now have a full military. You are fighting people with swords. Now people will be launching a missile with hateful intent directly at your faces. It's like, that sounds like a massacre waiting to happen. So, do I have to lock myself and everyone else in here? Is that the right thing to do? Maybe. But I don't exactly have that option yet, so it's a bit of a moot point. But anyway, I was talking about my theories, wasn't I? At length. At very great length. Good grief, I'm looking at my timer. Theory 3. Now this is a theory which I think holds promise. Maybe. It was certainly, I felt like it was my most promising theory until I started to get really depressed about theory 2. I was like, oh, I bet that's it, isn't it? Because surely Alphys should be on the outside. Like, how can I have a happy ending if it's clearly indicating there's some characters I've missed or something like that? Like, no. But anyway, what was I saying? I was rambling incoherently. Theory 3 is the theory I call fourth wall. Because, as I've mentioned, the king does something very interesting at the start of our combat. Specifically, there's no response. There's another entrance to the lab, but would that give me any more success? I don't know. It's a long way. It doesn't feel like that's something the game would do. Anyway, so the king does something which has never happened before. He breaks my interface. Now, that's different than everything else. My controls have been influenced, yes, but that's because it's been influencing the heart, the soul of my character, and therefore the way I control it. And that's very much within the canon of the world. Breaking my controls is almost within the canon of the world, but it's not. That's my interface, not my character's interface, mine. He literally destroys the mercy buttons. He breaks the fourth wall to do so. And he knows that he's killed me 10 or so times. That implies, just maybe, that the answer to this is in me using my powers of determination. So, here's a thought. It doesn't let me spare him, it doesn't let me run from battle, but I can run from the battle by resetting. I also, now this is one I don't hold that much stock in, I could just not do anything. I could just sit there and do absolutely nothing, refuse to fight that way. Which is like, okay, that's never been a mechanic in the game before, although the Metaton fight did imply that the game is counting as I go. It does have timers. It could have a hidden timer, and I just need to sit there and stare at him, and eventually he'll give up. Well, not give up, or just be like, is this really how you're not going to fight me? It's possible, and like if I run out of all other options, I might try that, but that would involve me just sort of leaving the thing open for 20 minutes and wandering off, and coming back afterwards, which I wouldn't show you, obviously. And then, of course, there's a third option in this family of options, and that's to kill him. Where was I wanting to go first? Now, if I kill him and then reset, that has to do something. If I go into the fight, the angel is coming. If I kill him and then reset, the game has to do something. It's registered every time he's killed me. So why wouldn't it register every time I kill him? Right? So what if I go into the fight and what if I go in, manage to defeat him somehow, then reset, go into the fight again? What happens then? Will it say, you've killed me countless times and I've killed you once? What if I then kill him countless times? Would that work? If I can go into the fight and say, we've each killed each other countless times, would he then accept the futility of it? Is that part of the point? Do I have to prove that we can kill each other in order to prove the futility of this fight? Maybe. Just maybe. I feel like that would have to do something. But that does also mean killing him. So, I've got these theories. I've got the theories as I've laid them out. I'm pretty sure that I've missed something. Now, will you tell me about the king now? King Thuffman, he's a friendly, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. If you keep walking around long enough, you'll probably meet him. He loves to walk around and talk to people. Why do I call him Dreamer of Fluffy Buns? Well, that's a great story. I don't remember it. But if you come back much later, I'm sure I'll have remembered by then. It is much later. You can't get much later than I am now, right? How do I get any later? Is it literal time? Do I need to wait for years? Or do you only tell me after I've beaten the king? Is there something after beating the king? Which is another point. We still haven't dealt with the damn flower. There's got to be something more with that damn flower. It's possible, just possible, that there is nothing with the flower. But I don't believe that. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. The flower was just meant to be there. This flower who said it had the power to control the world. For all I know, it's the one that's put all this into the king's head. Because the king doesn't seem like the king that everyone's talking about. And that's an interesting point. Everyone's talking about the king that he's... Yeah, everyone's talking about the king like he's, super sweet, but then this happens. Beware of the man who speaks in hands. Speaks in hands. Who's that? The man who speaks in hands. Speaks with their hands? Is a hand that speaks? Speaks in hands. I feel that's important, but I don't understand it. What's this? Okay, well, anyway, I came back to Snowdon because I wanted to talk to the snowman. I've taken this snow piece everywhere, and I want to get a hint of whether there's something specific I need to do with it or not. I also want to go back and visit, I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? I also want to go back and visit Papyrus's place to see if that does anything, because I feel like I'm missing something with Alphys, and it's just possible. Maybe not probable, but possible that maybe she's there? Oh. How do I visit the snowman? Hey punk, what's up? It's you. Papyrus, how can you stand this cold? I have no skin. So why do we stand in grillways instead? Because I hate grease. But you don't have a stomach. No, but I have standards. Oh, Papyrus, I missed you. Oh, hey. You're leaving soon, right? Don't come here to say goodbye. Byes aren't allowed in my town. Just see you later. Sans, we need to talk. Door's locked, of course, Blinken is. Do you have any other dialogue? Nope, just the same thing again. So I'm just going to skip past this because I've heard this before. Well, so much for the hope that this would help me with the Alpha situation. Geez, how do I... Is it maybe worth trying to go in by the other door? I don't know. It doesn't feel like it, but at the same time... Anyway, I'm going to keep walking, because I've got a few places I want to visit. And I think I've talked through all my theories now, so I'll spare you the travel and any monster attacks. Still nothing I can do with this blinking door. But I feel like the spiders I heard about are in there. Maybe, because I saw them in the walls, and maybe they're keeping the door closed for the cold. But I feel like there's got to be a way in here. It's driving me bonkers. I hoped maybe now that I'd talked to the other spiders it would open, but apparently not. There's got to be a solution. And I tried looking at the eyes, because there's 4 eyes, but they just come out and they blink, which doesn't give me any indication, really. I tried turning like all the lights on, all the lights off, all the lights on, all the lights off, but it didn't seem to do anything. Oh, do I just walk across there automatically? And I get snow on my head. Right. Who are you? Have I seen you? That dog from earlier? It's a grill beast, I think. After work, all the dogs go there to play cards together. But that dog doesn't really know how to express itself, so it ends up playing alone, instead of introducing itself to the others. That's sad. What's this? Seems like the base of a snow dog. Oh, okay. Where was the snowman? I swear it was after this, wasn't it? How am I doing? By I, I mean the piece of me I gave you. No, not giving me any hints. It said to take it somewhere far away, right? Now I've taken it all the way across the map. I don't know whether I'm supposed to drop it somewhere? And maybe that'll do something? Like it'll be placed there? Or do I just carry it with me all the time? I don't know. Oh, this feels nostalgic. There's a camera hidden in the bushes. Huh. That's interesting. Huh. Is that camera important in some way, do you think? Well, there's nothing I can do with the door, apparently. I wonder if the camera means that Toriel is able to see who comes in, or if it's set up by someone else. I don't know. Sands, maybe? Like, to see if a human ever leaves? So you can rush out and not kill them? Well, I've made my trips, and it's given me absolutely nothing. Complete waste of time. So I guess I'm going to have to go back to the king and start testing out my theories. One way or another. Huh. It was the way that I came from out of Alphys's. I feel like this was the first thing I had with Metaton, but there's no way to go back that way. Which possibly suggests that there is no way to get back to Alphys's back door. Maybe. Or I'm misremembering. Well, I'm almost back to the king. This has been a long, long episode already. I'm going to at least try my theories. I don't care if it's a long episode, because I really need to kind of try and get some of these thoughts out, because I've been thinking about this game way too much. But yeah. This reminds me so much of where I first fell down, you know? Except that this path here wasn't here, right? But in that moment, I walked this way. There was a door, and behind it, the flower, which Toriel saved me from. When all seemed doomed. Just more things in my head to think maybe Toriel will show up. So I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything that I could try and do with Alphys, which is doing my head in, because there had to be something, surely. Was there really, like, you know, just that slim instant where you had to go back? I mean, I know with Undyne, you know, she collapsed and there was a water cooler there, and it's like, you felt like if you walked away, she might, you know, die there. But at the same time, it was like, okay, that one was fairly obvious, that there was maybe something you had to do. But chasing after Alphys all the way back to her laboratory? Maybe not. Not as obvious, and if it was like a cut-off of, well, now you've talked to the king, can't do anything. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do, really. I feel like the first thing that I want to try and do is one of my fourth wall theories. I'm going to try resetting in the middle of combat to run away, effectively. Because that one's pretty quick and easy to check. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try and outlast him for a bit. Okay. I think I can reset just by holding escape. This is the barrier. This is what keeps us all trapped underground. If by chance you have any unfinished business, please do what you must. I see. Anything you want to do is important enough. Even something as small as reading a book or taking a walk. Please take your time. Oh, that's interesting. It gave me that option again. Damn, now I want to go and see if now I'm allowed to do some stuff. Reading a book or taking a walk. Is there any books I want to read? But the fact that now it's giving me that option again implies that maybe there was no cut-off at all in the first place, and the only reason it skipped that dialogue each time I tried again was because of convenience for me, which is nice of the game, but when I've gone everywhere, I've checked a lot of things. Ah, damn it. I'm going to go and check the library. He said reading a book. I forget what the books in the library said. I want to go and read a book. I'll be back. Here I am in the library. Isn't it great to read? I'm not delaying at all. Left, right. School report about monster funerals. I know I've read all these before. Monster funerals, technically speaking, cool as heck. When monsters get old and kick the bucket, they turn into dust. We heard about that. Funerals, we take that dust and spread it on that person's favorite thing. Then their essence will live on in that thing. Am I at the page minimum yet? I'm kind of still writing this. Ah. So, that means that when their son died, they would have taken his dust and spread it on his favorite thing. What was his favorite thing? The human would probably have been his favorite thing. The human's body, which I believe he brought back with him. And his essence would live on in that thing. Interesting. Every time I fall somewhere, I have, like, flashbacks to people saying nice things. Well, I say flashbacks now, because I think maybe those were flashbacks. They felt like they could be flashbacks, or they could be happening. At first I thought it might be the king, but that can't be. No, it didn't sound like him, it sounded younger. So, is that what I am? Has the human body been effectively resurrected by being sprinkled in the ashes and essence of the prince? That would be an intriguing twist. If that was the case, then that would mean I might not have a human soul at all. So this whole thing would be a moot point. It would also maybe mean, would I be able to walk across the barrier anyway if I'm part human and part monster? That'd be interesting. Of course, it also could have been the flowers, in which case his essence would live on in the flowers and possibly become flowery. Would he be taken by vengeance? Or maybe it was both, and he was split on the subject. A part of him wanted vengeance, and it became a vengeful flower. A part of him wanted to be peaceful, and it became a human. I'm just rambling, but maybe? Maybe. That's interesting. I wonder if the others have something interesting. Well, monsters are mostly made of magic. Human beings are mostly made of water. Humans, with their physical forms, are far stronger than us, but they will never know the joy of expressing themselves through magic. They'll never get a bullet pattern birthday card. Yeah. It's an interesting thing that they shoot... When they're shooting their bullets at you, they are trying to express their feelings, I guess? Yeah. I don't think humans will understand that. Here I am, writing this book. A person comes in and picks up the book. They start reading it. Oh, sorry. I'm still writing that one. Because I've made of magic, monsters' bodies are attuned to their soul. If a monster doesn't want to fight, its defenses will weaken. Now, the crueler the intentions of our enemies, the more their attacks will hurt us. Therefore, if a being with a powerful soul struck with the desire to kill... let's end the chapter here. Monster History Part 4. Fearing the humans no longer, we moved out of our old city, home. Fearing the humans no longer. Why? We braved harsh cold, damp Swatland and searing heat, till we reached what we now call our capital. New home. Again, our king is really bad at names. So, Toriel moved back to the old place, the original place. I guess? Love, hope, compassion. This is what people say monster souls are made of. But the absolute nature of soul is unknown. After all, humans have proven their souls don't need these things to exist. Har har. Cough cough. Day I just don't want to work. It's called today. Usually has giant muscles. Well, that's interesting. Is that different dialogue? The look in your eye. You think Sudoku is just moderately challenging, don't you? Aren't you the one who... I swear all their dialogue is different. Okay, slightly interesting thing to think about. I've also wasted more time and made this episode longer. Wandering back again at the place where I saw Alphas last. You know, I feel like I glazed over it, but I've been thinking also about what Metaton said, because he of course accused her of being a mastermind trying to sort of toy with me, I guess, basically. Which is sort of interesting, because I got the impression that she had a crush on me. But then again, maybe who she has a crush on is in fact the king, and I was but a way that she could get closer to the king by taking my soul, or maybe she's got a crush on Metaton, because she seemed more worried about him than me. Her creation. Maybe. Maybe she just wanted to make Metaton special. And here is a thought. Doesn't Metaton have a human soul? Didn't they say that? Doesn't that mean they already had 7 of them? I don't know. I just don't know. It feels like there's some things I don't have the answers to, and I don't know whether I should know the answer or not. But here we are. Good grief, I feel as, I think I understand how the king feels. No determination. Okay. Let's try this again. Oh, back so soon. How are you feeling? I see. This is it then. Ready? To have my soul torn out? Not really. Strange light fills the room. Twilight is shining through the barrier. Does it fill me with determination? Seems your journey is finally over. It does seem that way. You're filled with determination. Human, it was nice to meet you. Goodbye. Don't break my mercy button, bro. Don't do it. Tell Asgore he's killed you too many times to count. He knows pitifully. Oof. Okay. Well, I'm back. Let's see if that did anything. Oh, back so soon. How are you feeling? Well, that didn't do anything, apparently. Deselected it again, did you? That's not a good thing for you to do. Darn, apparently you really thought that would work. Apparently you really hoped that would do something. I mean, come on, it was like, you know, you can't run, but then I found a way to run. I really thought it would be like, you know, battle initiated, but battle not concluded either way. Oh. Well, the next plan is to try the Outlast strategy. I want to see... Now, I feel like the talk thing is either on a timer, meaning that... Well, I'm assuming it's not going to just, you know, have on the X hit, say you have to fight, and then never again. It's going to be like on a clock, so it'll either say that again or it'll say something else. And that's what I want to confirm for myself. Asgori's killed you too many times to count. He knows pitifully. So how do I get around this one? Ow. I need to get good at his attacks, but I don't know how yet. I don't want to fight. His breathing is funny for a moment. Ah, damn it. Damn it! Oh, double damn it. Right, this again. Man, I hate this. You firmly to stop fighting. Recollection flashes in his eyes. His attack dropped. Is he remembering Toria? Move. Don't. Oof, it's been a while. It's been a while since I had to deal with that. Seems talking won't do any more good. That's what you think. Uh-oh. 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 Though, I almost want to heal. Seems talking won't do any more good. No. Well, I beg to differ. Seems talking won't do any more good. Uh-oh, this one. I hate this one. Yum. Oh, come on. Seems talking won't do any more good. Seems talking won't do any more good. Come on. Can't trust that I'll... That's one reason I got the staff fates. I guess I can use them a little. Because, like, the only thing that gives me any sense of progression is these attacks. They keep getting harder. All you can do is fight. It's possible that's true, but I don't want to believe. I don't want to believe it. How do I get through this one? There's a pattern, so there's got to be a good way through it. I'm just no good at it. I'm just no good at it. Wait, hold on. You drink the Star Fate. Uh-oh. 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 Good thing I drank the Star Fate. Seems talking won't do any more good. I've heard that. But what I haven't heard is you say anything other than that. I hate to do it. What does this do for me? Seems talking won't do any more good. Seems talking won't do any more good. These are getting significantly harder, right? healing item. Oh, Lord. But that's getting much harder. Seems talking won't do any more good. Ow. Well, I don't have any more unless I eat the quiche or the snowman piece, which I don't really want to do. Shoot. No, ah. Don't lose hope. Silver, stay determined. I want to try and outlast him a bit longer than that. I should probably be keeping track of how many turns I'm surviving now that I think about it. Do we have to do this, man? Destroy the fight button. Not that one, no. Asgore, he's killed you too many times to count. Yep. Like, could I even fight him? Is a question that I want to bear in mind. I feel like actually getting his attack down is probably pretty important, because it turns him from from 4-shotting me to 5-shotting me. So if I talk to him now, we should be down to... yeah... Ow. I don't know whether his attacks getting worse is enough of a sense of progression for me, though. I also don't know if I'm good enough to survive his attacks indefinitely. Now, I felt like there was a solution to this just by staying in the middle and only moving at the last second. But I don't know. Seems talking won't do any more good. I have got to figure this one out. Ah. There's got to be a way to zigzag it, right? I figure there's got to be a way to zigzag it. Doing a little better? Maybe? Ah, damn it. That one feels so... I mean, I'd like to take more damage before I heal. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. Leave me alone. All you can do is fight. So you've had that now. Uh-oh. Whoa. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. No. Do I risk one more attack before I heal? Maybe. I'm gonna learn... Oh shit, that was a bad idea. No, oh, 1 health! Thank you. Thank you, Glamburger. Ow. I didn't need to take damage there. Okay, don't move, don't move. Oh, come on. He gets so fast. He also seems to be getting more desperate? Maybe. Oh shoot, he's fast. I don't even have time to talk to him. You say that, but I have to try. Hey, no, I was out of the fire. I swear I was out of the fire. How many times can I try before I have to call it a separate episode, I wonder? Ready? Not really. I'm not sure I'll ever be ready, if I'm honest. Look, do you have... No, oh, come on. That's just mean. I mean, if I get really good, I can maybe outlast a bit. I don't know how long I can realistically outlast him. This one I am really terrible at. I should be able to just figure out where they're going to hit and where they're not going to hit. But I just can't do it. Like, there's lots of spaces where I wouldn't be hit. I just can't seem to see them. I just can't seem to see them, and I get my ass kicked. Oh, just don't move. Okay. Seems talking won't do any more good. I mean, I'm sure people who know this game, maybe there's some of you watching right now and going, "What are you doing, you fool? Why are you wasting your time? The game's told you clearly, you have to fight him." But that's just not what this game normally wants me to do. Okay. I thought I was doing well for... Darn it. For all I know, there is a point where it would say something else fight related, but I'm just missing it because I'm eating at that moment. Maybe. All you can do is fight. I really don't want to hear that. Stop. Talk to me, you fool! Uh-oh. Oh, I got snagged by a second one there. I don't want to heal yet, but I don't... Is the next one the really bad one? Maybe? Oh, it is the really bad one. No, I'm glad I healed. I didn't have to, apparently, but I don't trust myself on that one. This one feels so hit and miss when it starts getting fast. Whoop. Move. Oh, come... It's so fast. What the... Is some of the fire disappearing? I swear I haven't seen that before. Oh, I almost could have sat through that one. Maybe that's the point, just sit somewhere, you'll be hit once, but hopefully not multiple times. I suppose that could backfire royally. Seems talking won't do any more good. Come on, give me something! Phew! Surprised I got through that. Seems talking won't do any more good. Uh-oh. Oh, come... No. No. You just did this attack. I wish his attacks were a little bit more predictable. I'm surprised I got through that unhurt. Ow. I hate getting hit twice. I can't... Is it just me, or am I not getting to see where the hole is some of the times? Someone save me! Save me, Duff Man! Read the quiche. I'm probably going to die, but if I don't, then the quiche will have served its purpose well. If this is a way through without fighting, then... I don't think I can do better than that. I'm sincerely not sure I can do better than that. I feel I was doing pretty well until I died. You know, just till that last moment there with the death. Okay, well that didn't quite work, did it? What on earth is my time? I've apparently been recording this episode for almost an hour and a half. Thinking to myself I'd give 3 tries. I don't know that I can do any better than that. But is the key just to keep trying? Get good enough? I forget how long the fight with Metaton was, but that fight wasn't as hard. You know? The attacks of Metaton were far easier to avoid. Some of them anyway. But you know, you could legitimately get through a lot of them without getting hurt. I mean, heck, there was even a mechanic for getting extra points for not getting hurt. I feel like it's very hard to avoid all of the attacks here. And I just don't know. I'll give it one more try. One more try to outlast him. No, I'm not. I don't want to fight him. Please stop. Please stop. Damn it. That was probably the wrong call. Ah, oh, damn it, I hate this one. Like, I really, really hate this one. Because it's not giving me an extra sense of progression, and I swear I lasted long enough it should have given me something. Right? I lasted long enough it should have given me something. His attacks just keep getting harder, but that could just be basic gameplay mechanics. If I was fighting him, right, you know, melee fighting him, making him gradually harder is just a normal mechanic to keep it from being too easy. Ow. Ow. That one feels like it should be doable, but I just can't seem to manage. The thing is, like, I went wandering all over the place, and just about all the monsters that I encountered wouldn't fight me anymore. So I'm... yeah, you say that. Because that, all you can do is fight, is either the game actually saying, this isn't a bit, do something, or it's there to give progression, but it doesn't seem like it's there to give progression. The further I get, the more it feels like that isn't a guide, that's just, rather, it's just saying, fight him. It's like, look, it's okay to fight this time. Ow! I cannot get the hang of that one. I just can't. Oh. I zoned out for a second there. It's bizarre, isn't it? Here we are facing a goat man with a giant red fork in the middle of a lava-filled abyss, and I'm wanting to spare his life at all costs. Come on, they've designed this guy to look like freaking Satan, just to make it more surreal, I suppose. Ah. Hey, I was moving. Okay, this one I should be able to get through. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just don't spawn a glove right on my face. Ow. Give me something, game. Something to either indicate that this is the right call of action or not. Ow. I feel like that didn't have to happen. I probably shouldn't have eaten that right there, but... it is this one, though. I could have gotten through it, but you never know. You get sent all the way back if you fail. Yeah, that's definitely disappearing, right? Or maybe it's just the way the light works? I sure as hell don't know. Oh, that's an easy one. Just don't do anything. Thanks, Asgore, for throwing me a bone. Oh, I hate this one. Ow, I hate that one so much. Uh-oh. Don't spawn a glove on my face. Just looking for something. Something. If it said the same thing again, I'd know it's just repeating itself. If it said something different, I'd know this was... yeah, this was progressing in some very, very slow way. But I don't know. It is just saying the same thing. Again and again and again, so it's possible the reason it said something different just once was to tell me this is not the right call. So maybe that is the point. Maybe there is no answer this way. The risk there is I bump into the wall before he's finished attacking. See who's talking won't do any more good. Give me something! Ah! No, 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 no! I could eat the snowman piece, but I'm not going to. Even if I... Seems talking won't do any more good. Of course it won't. That, for a moment there, was looking easier? Oh. Okay, okay. Okay. I'm going to try something now which you aren't going to see, but I will. I'm going to go in there and I'm not going to do a damn thing. I'm just going to stare him in the face. And see if this has a timer. Just to confirm to myself that isn't the situation. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, so I've been sitting here staring at this for about a quarter of an hour, and nothing's happened. I'm starting to think that his fork is probably actually a gardening fork the more I think about it. It doesn't look like one, but knowing this guy, that's probably the case. Just imagining this person attacking me with a garden fork just has me chuckling to myself. Yeah, no, I didn't think this was going to work, but what can I say? I have my hopes. But I have come to a decision. This episode is already going to be ridiculously long. And either way, starting to stab him will find an answer to this problem one way or another. Either because that's the answer, or because it's not the answer, but it's an answer. So I guess I'd find out either way. The one thing I'm going to try right here, I can't remember if I've done it or not, is I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to stand here. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to do a thing. I'm going to continue the strategy which I have here of just refusing to fight. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to dodge. I'm just going to stand here and talk to him. Which will get me killed very quickly. I'm not going to move for any reason. And it will get me killed, of course it will. I might eat my burgers. Nope, not moving. This is my refusal to fight. Which will, of course, involve my rapid death. Probably right now. That's interesting. It actually is targeting slightly above where I start. Yeah, I've decided I'm not going to try fighting him this episode because that would take quite some time, I imagine. Well, what do you know? Not moving is the right strategy there. Okay. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to here he comes. Here comes death. Oh, no. I'm actually surviving a remarkably long time of not doing a thing. But that'll end soon enough. Possibly this very round? Oh, no. I'm surprised how long I'm actually surviving without moving an inch. But it will end. Oh, here we go. Oh no. Shouldn't that have killed me? I swear that should have killed me. It's kind of fun there as I take one damage and then it's like... Not fighting you, Asgore. Not moving, not doing anything. You're just stabbing a child who's standing here talking while they stand here talking to you. I'm not even going to pretend that this is that this is conflict by trying to dodge your attacks. I'm just literally a child standing here talking to you. you're throwing fireballs at me and stabbing me and all these things. How does that feel, Asgore? Oh, here's my death. Oh. Shouldn't that have killed me? Not fighting you, Asgore. Yep. Our fate rests upon you. Well, I'm trying. I really am trying to stay determined, but it's kind of difficult. Right. Okay. Look, this is blind. I don't want to look anything up. The problem is, I would look up this. I honestly would, because I'm stumped. To find any way of getting through this without killing him, and I don't want to. Like I say, if I was playing this on my own, I would have looked it up at this point. At this point, I would have looked it up. I would have tried my thoughts and I would have looked it up. But I'm not going to do that, because I just know that if I try and look it up, that I will find more information than I want. I mean, come on, if I type in, if I type into any search engine, is it possible to get past Asgore without fighting? Then unless I get like lucky and there's someone who's asked that literal question in like Reddit and the answers are all spoiler proof, maybe, but anything else is just going to like give me a guide to the game or something, or a guide to the whole scene, and it's far too likely I'll get a spoiler of what happens next, or a spoiler of what would happen no matter what I choose, which I don't want. So I'm going to end this episode about here and post it and wait a week, and in a week or so I will I'll come back and I will finish this one way or another. I invite anyone who actually watches this in that time, and I realize there's probably only going to be one or two of you. If you know just this one simple question, if you know the answer to this one simple question, I beg you to answer it. Is it possible for me, right now, where I am in the game, is it possible to get through this fight without fighting Asgore? That's all I really need to know. I need to know if I can outlast him. Or, I just need to get good enough to do it, because I'm willing to try that. I'm willing to try and put in the time and effort to try and get there. But I don't want to spend I don't want to spend 2 more hours on video trying to outlast him if that's just not even an option for me at this point. I don't want to know what the answer is. I don't want to know what happens next. I don't want to know yet whether or not there's like some alternate path I've missed. All I want to know is there a way to get through this interaction without going to the stabbing? Yeah, I wish I knew that, because I mean, it's good that the game gets me this caught up and involved and invested, but I just don't know what to do going forwards, and it's really making it hard to keep playing the game, because I don't wanna mess everything up, because it'll make me feel incredibly bad, and that won't be fun at all. But I've rambled long enough, more than long enough, so I'm going to call this episode here. This was Silvertail. Be sure to come back if you like what you see, and we'd always pack a plan D, because here there be dragons.